Welcome back to Against My Better Judgment, the podcast where two friends,
I'm Tamara Golden.
and I'm Danielle Whiteside, tell the truth, share the lessons, and laugh about the moments that we knew better, but did it anyway. Each week we share real stories about our lives, about the times that life surprised us, stretched us, or just straight up humbled us, and the lessons that we learned along the way.
And this season, we're titling it How I Learned. It'll be a series of stories of how we learned various things about just navigating life and navigating the workplace.
Yep. So before we get started, today we're going to talk about how you learned fight or flight. Yeah. But before we do that, let's talk about how our weeks have been. How have you been doing?
Well, it's been one of those weeks. I decided, it's very important to pay people for what they do. Mm-hmm. If you can at all afford to do so. I've been a big proponent of contributing to the economy and paying people for what they do. Well, when you become an entrepreneur, you really think through okay, should I do that? Should I pay somebody? How should I spend my money? Those types of things. Yeah. So I was feeling pretty good and decided I am going to clean out my flower bed for the fall. So, I pulled flowers, I cut crepe myrtles, I cut lisle bushes. I did all of this stuff, and it was a trash bag. It's probably, if you full, it's probably about this high. Mm-hmm. It's probably 3 or 4 feet high, when it's full. So I filled up the trash bag, tied it up, and drug it. And I had to pick it, bear hug it, get it into, when you have dumb friends. I had a dumb friend that has just popped up and see us recording and they want to act up. Shout out to Lisa Carter.
Hey, Lisa. Good to see you, girl.
There goes my story. But anyway, so when I finished that work, it took me about 3 hours. And after that 3 hours, I was like, dang, I already knew how I was going to feel the next 3 days. That's how my body was talking to me.
Yeah, it's probably telling you to get somewhere and sit down.
All that. So that has been my whole week because I've been recovering from that feeling all week. So.
Get somebody else to do it. Is my phrase. I had a good week though. 2 things have happened to me this week. Well, not happened. That sounds dramatic, but I had 2 different conversations with people in law school about just what's the next steps. And I thought, that's just interesting. I always want to be that person that you can talk to about those sorts of things and really spend most of my time assuring them that it's okay. You may not know where you're going to end up today, and that's fine. But it reminded me of how we talked about the lady who was interested in law school.
Oh, what was it? A briefcase?
Briefcase curious. Yes. Yeah. And we've gotten a lot of commentary about that since then. People were really interested in the advice that we gave. Yeah. So anyway, but it was just interesting that I have had 2 instances since then to talk to law students about their lives and their paths. So
no, that's fun.
Yep. That's fun. So anyway, let's jump into our segment of how you learned fight or flight.
So, everyone says that usually it can be traumatic or what have you, but usually in certain situations that are typically unpredictable situations, you will have a natural reaction. Mm-hmm. That's where you get the fight, where you're going to stand there, hunker down and deal with it, or flight by.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, you can't really predict these.
You don't know.
And naturally, I would have just assumed I'm a fight. That's what I would have naturally have thought about myself, just knowing myself growing up. I would have thought, I'm going to fight. Remember, I was a low-key bully. But, when you think about these things, and I was just reflecting on points in my life where I had to make a decision, I thought, a fight or flight, but your body really makes the decision for you. All right. So the first time I remember I was in Jasper, Florida. It was a Young Life trip. And basically with Young Life, part of your service is to raise money to go on the trip to serve the campers. So you raise money for your way, and then you act as a leader to the folks who are going to the Young Life camp. Mm-hmm. So at this point, it was a group of staffers. We were on the canoe trip with campers. So many of us were assigned to a canoe with campers. Well, there was a final canoe that was just staffers because we didn't have to have a group. So there were 3 of us, Rob, Ben, and me. All right. Two boys and me. And we are canoeing. Not necessarily my thing, but whatever. So the trip started, let's just say at noon.
Okay.
You should be finished with this trip by, let's just say 3. So you can only imagine, because this is my story, it's dark outside. Right? We have assignments, like we have different characters that we pop up in dinner for the campers so we have stuff to do. And we are going through, clearly we have gone left when we should have gone right, because there's some anxiety now.
Yeah.
There are points where you can't even canoe. So we are walking in water, but our canoes, like we have to pull the canoe because we can't leave that canoe. I'm an Oregon Trail baby. So we cannot leave the canoe in case we need it later. But I'm like, is this quicksand? So many things are going through my brain. Well, lo and behold, we see light and we're canoeing. Rob or Ben push off from like a tree. Girl, if a snake did not crawl on, I think it was Rob's arm into our canoe, pushing off from that tree. Remember, snake in canoe, I see light, and it is dark in Jasper, Georgia. You know what we're going to do? We're going to flick that snake out of that canoe, and we are going. So the first time I think I learned fight or flight was just the natural reaction of
get this snake out of here.
Snake out this canoe, period. All right. So that was, again, very instinctive.
Did y'all make it?
We made it.
Obviously you're sitting here today, so you made somewhere.
Never should have made it. So we did make it. So that's the first time. And then I think about fight or flight in a different sense of, okay, something more literal of, so a lot of people know that I played college basketball, but what a lot of people don't know, that being a star basketball player in high school does not equate to being a star basketball player in college. Okay. And sure. Frankly, I wasn't even a star in high school. I was very good. Okay. I won't even say that much.
Well, you had to be a star. You got a scholarship to play basketball in college.
Well, let's get on that. That's part of the fight or flight.
Okay.
So, I knew Union was a school. I did get a scholarship that I didn't accept, but Union I knew would take me to where I was going to end up being. I knew I wasn't going to WNBA. I knew I was going to make a dime playing basketball. I knew that. So I was like, okay, I want to play, but I need something to get me to my next step. I need an education.
Yeah.
So Union was a great school for education. So I went there and they were accepting, mind you, at that time, they'd won like 4 national championships in a row, like something ridiculous. So I knew that it would be difficult. So I decided, like Cheryl Street played for them. It was incredible. In any event, I decided, okay, they're taking 1 out of 5 women walking on. 1 out of 5. So I immediately decided, like, 1 out of 5, my parents are not going to be boosters. There were so many things that I was counting against me as to why I was not going to be the one. And then it clicked. I said, I am. So I quickly made friends with their star player, Celeste Wilson. Well, at the time she was Celeste Golston. And we worked out together. We spent the summer together. We hustled together.
Was that a strategic friendship?
Yes. It was strategic just because anybody who knows Celeste who's listening, Celeste probably had 3 friends because she's a very quiet person. Mm-hmm. Like I was the one person that made Celeste laugh. Like, okay. So this was strategic and I knew I could do it. I'm like, I know, I'm funny. So, I made friends with her and I worked my butt off. So you get 3 weeks, you get 2 weeks of tryouts with the team, all 5 of us.
Okay.
And I also knew the position players and they weren't really my position. They also had, for my position, they had Celeste because I was a very, very small forward for college. Mm-hmm. Like I was a post player in high school, but I was really small for college. So, but I played against some of these folks in high school. So I'm like, I can do this. So I really, really decided I refuse not to make the cut. I mean, I was in the coach's face. How did I do today, coach? I mean, what did I need to work on, coach?
Like, I'm going to be on this team.
So, yeah. So the other part of flight or fight is not necessarily spontaneous. It's like, oh, I am going to make the cut. So it was cut day, and I was last. And I don't know if I was last because I was last or the coach put us in order, like spaced us out, and I was last because I made the team. That first girl came out and her face was red. I was like, whew, one down. The second player went in there because I decided, I was like, these are going to be lined up. I'm watching y'all. Where you going? Oh, I just got a meeting. Oh, I know you're going. I'm following you all the way to this coach's office. Next person coming out. Didn't have nothing to say. I was like, 2 down. I got in there and coach said, you made the team. It was Coach Hudgens. So that was one of those fight or flights where I refused to not make this team.
Yeah. And that's probably what got you there because they saw the fight.
Hey, I will put my dukes up when I have to. And the last one is, you may remember this, a few years ago in New York, they had the 100-year flood. It was literally maybe 2022, I think, in New York. So I was down there for the US Open, and it was a night game. It was Medvedev was getting ready to play. And my friend's like, ooh, hey, Tamara, it's raining. I'm like, yeah, it's raining. I mean, welcome to the United States.
You're like,
raining.
I'm still going to this match.
Oh, but then she said, T, it's raining though. I was like, it is. So she was like, let's go. I was like, all right, bet, let's go. So this is a crazy rain. This was rain, like, in Forrest Gump where it's raining up. It was doing that. It was raining up. So I was like, okay. And the good thing is her intuition kicked in to say, let's go. And mine kicked in to like, yeah, you're probably right. We paid for this, but I'm not a crazy Medvedev fan anyway. No offense, but I'm not. So we head back. Well, we get onto the subway. And we get on the subway. The first stop was smooth. We get to another stop, and I'm sitting there, and I see this water's coming into the subway, and I see this man videotaping it. My legal mind says, he's going to fake a slip and fall. Because nothing, mind you, we haven't watched the news because we're at the Open, so we don't really know what's going on. But I'm like, he's about to stage a slip and fall. And I was like, hey, he's about to stage a slip and fall. And lo and behold, he puts up his phone. Then this man gets in on the bike, and he's just drenched. And he has like a huge machete hanging he's talking, hey, fight or flight. I'm going to be friends with the machete man. So I'm like, yeah, man, it's really raining out there. And he tells us his story. Well, then the subway says, get off the subway. We get off. Another one comes. We get on that one. A few minutes later, it says, get off the subway. We get off before it even moves. The next one comes. It takes us somewhere. And it says, get off the subway. We get off, and I don't know where we are now. And we look down, and we see water coming through the subway tunnel. Like, think about a movie about a tsunami and water's just rushing towards you.
What?
And you see people in disarray. So we get out of that and we get to the top, and you can hear people are like, my kids are at home. People are getting anxious. And so I said, hey, let's just get out of the subway commotion. Like right now, it has gotten real. It has gotten real. This rain is coming, and it's a monsoon. So I was like, let's get out of this subway commotion. And this is a place, we're in Queens, and New York has 5 boroughs. So we're in Queens, and we're trying to get to where the United Nations is, right? So that's where our hotel is. And so I was like, let's get away from this. I see a diner, and it's a 24-hour diner. And I was like, look, this place is going to fill up. And they're going to stop people from coming in. So let's just start posting up, right? Because the hotels were like rent by the hour hotels.
Oh, no.
Where we were. Like we had to walk under a bridge to get to this diner. So I was like, I think this is our safest place. And people are like, there's a bus that comes through, and people are hanging on the outside of the bus. But the bus driver can't open the door because it's at capacity.
Yeah.
But these people are desperate. And I'm like, this is about to really get messy very soon. So we start trying to get Ubers from where we are. And this guy, he's just going off like, So, I'm looking up transportation services. I'm looking up all types of things. And finally, it hit me. I was like, look, the only incentive a person is going to have to come get some strangers in this would be money. So let's just go put in your criteria for Black Diamond Ubers. Like whatever that cost is.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, we got a Santa Fe. This man came knowing good and well wasn't nothing black or diamond about this Santa Fe. He pulled up with this Santa Fe and said, y'all are my last ride of the night. The mayor, I think, was it Mayor Bloomberg? Couldn't have been.
22? No, it was Eric Adams.
Okay, well, it wasn't the mayor. It was the governor. Would it be Cuomo?
Cuomo, yeah.
Cuomo. State of emergency. No Ubers, no nothing. All of it was canceled, which didn't make sense because people still got to get home.
Yeah.
But you can't get home if the Uber can't go through this water, right? So we were the last ride in the Santa Fe. And we got back. You're talking about when you're visibly nervous, but we were calm enough to focus. Like, it's amazing, like through tumultuous situations or adversity, my brain gives incredible calm and clarity. And so that's how I learned a series of just fight or flight. And I think, I guess I'm going to be that person. Like, it's probably good that I wasn't born like in the 60s. I mean, because I will fight. I would still be at that. I'd still be at that counter. People pulling me. I mean, so.
Well, wow. Like, those are it feels, the word I want to say is like harrowing. Those are harrowing stories. I have a lot of reflections on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So canoeing, I've been whitewater rafting before, boat flipped over, had to figure my way out on that. But the story that's coming to my mind about fight or flight is in college. I went to a HBCU, shout out to the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And I remember one homecoming, we were at a bonfire, and the bonfire is Thursday nights. It's like so many thousands of people that come out to hear the band or whatever. And this particular bonfire, somebody started shooting.
That is, again, not funny.
It's not funny, but I'm laughing because this is the traditional Black college experience.
It is not.
I promise you.
It's not. Mind you, I've never been to one, but it is not.
But I'm telling you right now, if you've been to a Black college, you've been somewhere where somebody's shooting.
Not
okay?
True.
It is.
Not true. It's so stereotypical.
It is
not true.
It is a fact. So anyway, somebody starts shooting, and of course, everybody's running, and I guess this is demonstrating fight and flight, because I ran, and the only thing I could think, right, but the only thing I could think of was to get in the nearest car. And so I got in somebody's car, and it was this guy, and he was looking like, who are you? And so he took me around the corner to this other like neighborhood. And then I got out, and then my friends, we all somehow got back together. I can't remember if somebody came and picked me up or if I walked. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, I got in somebody's car.
Well, I'm just going to make it clear for everyone. I fight. She fights.
You know, and I think it is appropriate in the situation.
And it's a protective mechanism.
Yes.
Because if you are a flight person, don't stand around trying to help me fight, because we both are going to get hurt. Okay. So you've got to know all it is how you protect yourself.
Exactly.
Like, it's not a right, wrong, good or bad, type scenario. It's how you protect yourself. So,
yeah. I could probably think of other instances where I actually did the fighting.
Correct.
It depends on how your brain is able to assess its ability to survive.
Yep.
And that's the main
That's all
thing.
it is.
Yeah.
So
that's,
we surviving, y'all.
We here. We live to tell the story. That's the most important thing. So let's move into the We'll Be the Judge segment. And listen, we love getting these letters.
Yes.
And so please send them in so we can read them on the air. Again, we're going to be judging.
Nobody sends letters anymore, Dan.
Okay, emails. Or mostly DMs is how we get these. So send us your DM, send us your email, and I'll give you Tamara's address if you want to mail us a letter.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're still trying to figure out like our audience for this show. And so sometimes like we'll get messages from like, I imagine that the person who wrote this is probably like some of my husband's friends or something like that. Cause
Okay.
it kind of reads like that.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know who this is. They didn't put their name, but anyway.
Let's hear it.
So, hey, Tamara and Danelle, my wife just started a new leadership role at work. She's excited, but also overwhelmed. New team, lots of pressure, and she is one of the only Black women in the room. I've been trying to support her, picking up more of the household stuff, making sure the kids are good, even sending her little pep text during the day, which is so sweet. Very good of you.
It is.
But last week, she said I was fixing things when she just needed me to listen. So I'm trying to figure out how to show up for her without overstepping. I don't want to be the guy who turns her stress into my problem to solve. And he says, random note, I offered to talk to HR for her after she mentioned a weird comment someone made in the meeting and she laughed for like 5 minutes. Apparently that's not how corporate works. So what's your advice for being a supportive partner when she's leading big and carrying a lot?
Yeah. That one is, so many of these I've not gotten good at yet. So that's kind of neat. But I'd say first and foremost, like, let's take it from the top. Always be yourself. Like, however you love that way. However you support that way. But then your part of listening came when she told you to listen and not act. So in fairness, all the things you did leading up to this, you get a, oh, if we had that sound effect, that's what I do. So you get that. But now that she has told you to listen, you have to be what the person wants, right? And it's so hard to be what a person wants. So I would continue. The things that she didn't say stop doing is those little pep notes, those texts. I think a lot of times it could just help with literally, if she wants you to listen, then listen. It's the hardest thing to do. So I say if you try that first, I think you'll truly understand, like, okay, this is really hard. And maybe your help would be just, if you're really listening, you'll think of questions to ask to where you may be making suggestions for her to act on, or they just might be support and just say, I hear you. But I'll tell you what is doing too much. Asking to speak to HR. That is also, like, some of your acts of kindness, we all, at a certain age, we are old enough to own the fact that an act of kindness can be condescending to some degree. No, she's a grown woman. I think
he was joking about that.
Well, he said it.
I mean, he did, but I think he was joking. He said it was like a random note and his wife laughed. So maybe he was trying to insert.
Yeah, she laughed because that was so ridiculous. Like, this wants to talk to HR for me. Like, the point is whether it's joking or real, you definitely have to be careful with some suggestions, or you better know that they're funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, this is a common adage that, you know, women just kind of want to be able to vent and men want to solve the problem. And so sometimes when women are just venting, they just really want you to listen instead of trying to solve it. I don't vent for the purposes like just venting. Like, I'm typically like wanting you to help me solve a problem, but I am going to ask you, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I need your help to solve a problem, I will ask for it. So when she asks for it, then be ready to step in with an action or a solution. If she doesn't ask, just listen and, you know, just be that support. Yeah. And you're already being a support in so many ways. And I hope that she is acknowledging you for the things that you are doing, like, you know, picking up a little bit more around the house, taking the lead on the kids when she's overwhelmed. That's how you solve a big part of her problems. Because a big part of her problem is she's got this new role and she's trying to figure it out. And then to come home and have to do all these other things, you know, you just meeting that need in itself is an amazing help. So on behalf of your wife, thank you for stepping up. I will say,
because I can't help it.
What?
I'd say, what is extra around the house? When there are two people in the house, like, there's no such thing as, like, I just, well, it's sin sends gender role messages. No, if something needs to be done around the house, it's a tie. Whoever gets to it. There's no such thing as doing extra around the house. Like, whatever needs to be done, one of us are going to do it, and you're not going to get extra credit for picking up the kids. Whose kids? They're our kids. Okay. Cleaning up the house. It's our house. Or you don't get extra credit for that. The only thing he did that was extra to me was sending those extra little text messages. Everything else is table stakes.
Okay, I don't agree. The only reason I don't agree is because it is extra if it's not something you normally do.
But just
like
if
we've decided these are the roles and functions
I don't
we
see
have in the
that
house.
anywhere in the note.
You may not, but I'm extrapolating the meaning here because this is what happens in a marriage, that, you kind of have this mode established, and now this new thing that I'm doing is causing us to change the mode. And because of that, you are doing more than you normally do, because I normally do this. And so you're taking on more than you normally do. And you should give somebody credit for that.
But if you work outside in the yard, say if you have these gender roles and he's handling the yard and it's fall and winter, I'm mowing the yard every week. What are you doing with that? How are you feeling that time? You need to wash a load of clothes. But anyway.
Clearly, we have different opinions about this. And that's fine. I'm just saying kudos to you for...
What's his name?
He didn't say his name.
Okay.
Kudos to you for... or he didn't give us permission to say his name.
Okay.
Kudos to you for picking up the slack is what I'll say. And I'll also say it's funny because when I was serving as interim president, there was times when my husband would hear little things being said about me and that he didn't like. And so he would be like, okay, they gonna keep on. And
now that's different.
And so look, this is a favorite phrase that he says that makes me laugh so hard. When Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Mm-hmm. He says,
this is funny.
When they go low, I drop it to the flow. So I get what you meant when you were like, I'm going to go to HR, because listen, what you're not going to do is have my wife upset. And so I understand that's the part of the husband that wants to fix things and protect the wife and all those sorts of things. But the best thing you can do is just be a listening ear. When you notice she's tired or what have you, when you know she's had a long day, do what you've been doing, do a little extra,
Extra work.
It's extra. Like, for instance, right now, my husband is fixing all the lunches for the kids, which is amazing because I've usually done that. But he, now the school, I'm usually in the evenings, like doing my homework.
But he's just doing it. Like, he's not doing it.
But I never had to ask him to do it.
Correct. You shouldn't.
Yes, I should. When
oh my gosh.
It's something that I normally did.
Well, he knows the kids have to eat.
Yes, but he could also just go to bed and I'm sitting there doing my work, and then then after that I'm up an extra hour fixing their lunches. But instead, he took it upon himself to start fixing their lunches.
It's called a marital relationship.
It is. And I appreciate that he saw a need and met the need without me even having to ask.
You shouldn't have to. But anyway.
Okay. We don't agree. And that's fine. Kudos to you, sir, and keep doing what you're doing. Just being a listening ear, sending those nice little text messages, pick me ups or what have you. Kudos to you for seeing a need.
All right.
Anyway,
it's time.
Yes.
It's time for our namesake segment, Against My Better Judgment, where we confess something we did or didn't do that was against our better judgment. So today, Danelle, you're taking the lead on it. What is it?
So this one is not something I did. This is something I've recently read about in the news that had me dying laughing. Part of it, it's probably not funny, to the person, but it's funny to me. And there is a story, that we can learn out of this. So there is a person that ran for school board in a local county here in Middle Tennessee.
What county?
I'm not saying it.
All right.
So she ran for school board at 1, and just a few days ago, she was sworn in as the school board representative. And a few hours later, she resigned.
What happened?
She was found on gigolos.com having filmed herself doing some things.
They found that after she got elected.
So then, fast forward a couple days, she unresigned.
Oh, wait.
Yes. She unresigned because she said that she was not going to allow someone to scare her and, use her past against her or what have you.
Can you unresign? Is unresign a word?
That's what the article said.
It said unresigned.
It said unresigned.
No,
Yes.
it's rescinded her resignation.
Well, it said unresigned in that headline. So I wondered which part of this story is against her better judgment.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So it made me think about, the things that we've done in our past that might catch up to us. And first of all, I don't know. I mean, I understand why she resigned at first because she's a school board representative, and who wants to have that out there known about her, considering she's in a fiduciary position over children. But
tell us a little more about this website.
I'm wondering about Gigolos.com.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm like,
she was
like, I have no clue. I've never.
Apparently it was her doing something sexual.
Okay. And like people subscribe, or
I have
you just
no
post
idea.
like Snapchat?
And I'm not going to look.
I'm not, because I don't want it in my algorithm.
No, I don't.
Anywho.
No, you're not about to catch me on gigolos.com. But, so then it made me think about, like, in my past, if there's some things that I did that might have caught up to me. I don't have anything, but there was something that I almost did. So one of my brother's friends approached me about maybe 15 or so years ago about filming a reality show featuring plus size women dating. And
that's what it did. We would not be sitting right here, because these Real Housewives are going to jail.
Anyway, I was considering it. And so thankfully I consulted wise counsel. I talked to my mom about it. She was like, Danielle, you don't know where you're going to be in your life. So I don't think this is the thing you should participate in. And so I told him politely, no, thank you. I'm not going to do that. But could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Gosh.
I was on a reality show called My First Place. Yep. You remember that?
Yep,
where on HGTV, where I found my first house and everything. And, that's wholesome and everything. But the end of the episode, I burned my toast. And that came back to haunt me because people thought I couldn't cook.
Well, I will tell you, after all these years, Janelle, all these years, I've not had a morsel of your food.
That's not true, because you just had my son's birthday cake.
That doesn't count. I said food.
Food. Cake is food.
Well, it didn't count for me. I'm from Dyersburg, Tennessee, proudly. And we call food like food. Like, we're talking about the main course. Like, is your macaroni and cheese dry? Like,
No,
do you overcook your broccoli and green beans?
I don't.
Like, do you make cornbread? Is it sweet or not? Like, for real. Anyway.
I'm trying to think of the occasions that you've come over my house sometimes and I made breakfast.
I've heard about breakfast. I've heard about pancakes every Sunday. I've never had this stuff.
Okay, we're gonna have to change that, because I can cook. And I'm one of those cooks that doesn't measure things. Like, I know how much is a dash. Okay. I'm a cook.
Do you sprinkle your salt?
I'm such a good cook. My son told somebody that I made the best green beans. And I'm like, now that's a high compliment.
It is. And they're green beans.
Exactly. He said I made the best green beans.
He didn't say you make the best bacon.
I don't cook bacon because we don't need it.
Well, those green beans are really good to a kid that don't eat bacon.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Anyway, point is that sometimes we do things in the past that might catch up to us against our better judgment. And you need wise counsel to tell you, that's probably not.
Yeah, but the other thing with her is it also could have been against her better judgment to film on the Gigolo site. I don't know what it is, so I'm not knocking whether it's right or wrong. The other thing is against her better judgment to resign in the first place, like rush to judgment, and then against my better judgment to unresign, which I don't think's a word. Give us some comments, y'all. Is unresign a word, or should you rescind your resignation or something like that? Anyway, there were so many things that makes it to where what we cannot have is you over my kids.
You don't think she should be serving?
Well, no, I don't know. That's really tongue in cheek, but there are a whole host of decisions that are her decision in 2 days has given me a perception of her, and I don't even know her. That makes me question other things. That's all. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I wish her the best. I hope that it works out for the children of this particular county that she's serving. But I think it's a cautionary tale of you just never know when the decisions that you make are going to come back to bite you. And hopefully there's nothing in your past that will do that. And even now, as you're making decisions, like, understand that this has to serve you for today, but also serve you for your future. So let's be making the best decisions we can. So anyway, what is our takeaway for today?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of takeaways. Just own your fight or flight. When you understand, just know that it's your body reacting. It's this thing called intuition that reacts. Also, a lot of times the little things go a long way. I know I was a little hard on the person who sent in the message, but those little notes, keep them coming. Those little pick-me-ups really do go a long way in a relationship and frankly, even in a friendship.
Yep. I will say that sometimes it's okay to flee in the fight or flight situation. And my takeaway from the listener letter is I should tell my husband, thank you. So thank you, honey, for, seeing the need and meeting it.
Thanks, Andre.
And, just use wise counsel, and just be mindful of the decisions that you make. That's all.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week with more stories, laughter, and hopefully some learnings.
Yep. And so please send us your comments, your feedback. Hit us up on Facebook and Instagram at Against My Better Judgment Pod, or send us an email at againstmybetterjudgmentpod@gmail.com. And like Tamara says, give us 5 stars. We want to be 5-star chicks out here. So let us know how you're liking these episodes, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Take care.